I love what Jonathan Isaac said. He doing what God told him to do. That's what Christianity is all about. Get right, Vegas. James Sutton. It's a beautiful day. I know we have a lot of doom and gloom going around in the country, y'all. Unfortunately, with all the rioting and who black enough and who should think like this, and if you don't roll like that, roll like this, man, I got to give a personal shout out to their young brother, Jonathan Isaac. Man, listen. That's the way you speak up. This brother said something that a lot of people need to hear, and I know it might not be welcome from a lot of different people, but the people, you know, it's a lot of people who heard that didn't think that way before in private. Just thinking about that right now. He made the way for a lot of people. He spoke up and he spoke truth, and he spoke right out his heart, and he spoke without no anger. He did everything that God says do. You know, young brother too. Man, and I mean brother in Christ. And you know what? He made my whole week. I mean, it's okay for people to think the way they want to think. Everybody got a right to think that way. A lot of people don't feel this way. That's why you got a lot of people being canceled. You got a lot of black on black crime. And what I mean by black on black crime, not just the killing and the shooting, but I mean the way of thinking. If you don't think this way, you outcast from the black community, right? So in so many words. Not everybody like that. Not all black people like that. But the followers, the one that's following up behind this Black Lives Matter, you know, that really don't have a mind for themselves, you know, they're the ones that's doing the counseling and doing the pushing out. In the same breath, they talking about all Black Lives Matter, but they casting people out for thinking for themselves, you know. I love what this brother said, you know. I know a lot of people have heard about it. I just want to comment on it. You know, he said some things, man, that was so real. You know, the gospel has nothing to do with t-shirts with Black lives on it. God knows. I'm so thankful to hear about that amongst many. I know a lot of people, other people are so pleased and so thankful that a man had to come out from the NBA that has a platform like that, stood up when everybody else is kneeling down to speak the truth, man. That was beautiful, man. More of us. And I mean, not just black people. I'm talking about people in general, because it ain't just black people out here that's doing the black power fist. You have white people, you got Hispanic people out here. Half these people really don't even know what that means. They're just doing it because it looks good, you know. Their neighbors doing it, or they have fear. If they don't do it, they got fear. If they don't roll with the crew, you know, roll with the Black Lives Matter, they gonna be cast out or hurt or beat up. It's fear. This gonna be a history moment right here, you know, because he stood up for what's right, and he did it without any anger. I want to touch down on the George Floyd video that has been released. I don't know if a lot of people have seen it. I'm sure most have seen the video from the police cam. I wonder if a lot of these people that was out here burning up and tearing up the cities and beating up people over this and that, I wonder if they'll come back and say, you know what, man, we jumped the gun a little bit too soon. You know, we out here protesting and violent rioting and doing all this stuff over somebody that we didn't pay attention to, that we didn't watch and see and wait and see before we jumped to conclusions about what was going on. Because that 18-minute video that just came out, that's been leaked, it speaks a lot. It wasn't all cut out to what people thought it was thought it was at first. It was a little bit more to the story, you know. He wasn't as innocent as people say he was. But you know, you're gonna have people that overlook that. You're gonna have people that don't want to come to grips that, hey, you know, we jumped too far with that. Oh yeah, you're gonna have that. People ain't gonna say we were wrong. It ain't gonna be none of that. You're gonna have some people with their eyes open now. But you know, for the most part, you ain't gonna have a lot of Black Lives Matter come out and apologize for all the conclusion jumping that they did. We know that. And that's okay. It ain't okay, but that's what it is. Us so-called Christians, the people that say they believe in God and preach his word and stuff like that, they really don't. They really don't. A lot of them really don't. They just say it out of habit, you know, because the proof is in the pudding from all the rioting that's going on. If it was, you wouldn't have a lot of people out here claiming that they are Christians. And I'm talking about preachers too. I'm talking about well-known preachers and pastors too that's preaching the word, but for some reason put their culture and their color before God. Talking about all this systemic racism, which is a whole bunch of bull. Systemic racism, that don't even make sense. That's a made-up word. You know, if we call ourselves believers in Christ, man, let's stand up for what's right. I say this on every video almost. Let's stand up for what's right, man, first. Because all this stuff will be over and past with, and the truth and what's right will still be here. God's word is always here. All this other stuff, like the word say, paraphrasing, like, will pass away. But his word will always be here. So we talking about fighting for color or anything else. I'm not saying let's not stand up for what's right. Let's not stand up for people being abused. But if we're going to stand up for that, like I've said this in many videos also, if we're going to stand up for black people or people in general being hurt, man, I better hear more about, like, the last weekend, the weekend before. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Chicago. We better stand up for these innocent people getting killed out here on a weekly basis. You know what I'm talking about? You don't hear too much about that. That's overlooked. If we're going to stand up and we're going to say that we care about black lives and we're going to stand up for black lives, let's stand up for the people in Chicago, Detroit, New York. And I'm not just talking about black lives. I'm talking about all lives. Yeah, I said it. All lives do matter. Of course, black lives matter. Whoever thought that black lives didn't matter? Whoever said black lives didn't matter? Man, come on. I love what the boy did. I salute you. Going back to Jonathan, Isaac, brothers, stay on the course. We out here, we stand on the course. We fighting the good fight of faith. You know what I mean? It ain't about no color thing. It is about a color thing, but it's only in the person's eyes that's saying that. That's the only person that feel inferior to another ethnicity group is the one who's always complaining about the color thing. Because God say we are brothers and sisters in Christ. That should be enough right there. Matthew 6:33. Hit like, subscribe. I will get with you next video.